Cast Off. This is the #1 recasting show on the internet where two contestants compete by recasting your favorite actors in movies you love. I'm your host, Craig Price, and tonight we're playing for Pinks. Pinks, you punk! Ownership papers! All right, that's the only one I could think of. And tonight we have representing the T-Birds. We're gonna have you representing the T-Birds, Justin Harlan. How are you, Justin?
I'm fantastic. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Wow, we're gonna need some coffee for Justin because that was
I got the energy drink. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'm just starting.
Starting. You might want to drink that now. How familiar are you with Grease?
Well, I grew up with it. I watch it probably every couple of years, and I'd be surprised if throughout my life I haven't seen it at least 25 to 30 times.
Okay, well there you go. That's look at a big tough guy, not afraid to say he likes to watch Grease, which is great because Grease is great. Grease is wonderful. All right, you going up against you tonight though? You've got someone that absolutely adores Grease, and I did not know this when I picked her. It's Jenn Rohm. Welcome back to the show, Jenn.
Hello, everyone, and I do believe Grease is the word.
It's the word for tonight. What's that on your chair?
That is my Pink Lady jacket. I am not afraid to admit that as an adult, I did finally buy myself a Pink Lady jacket. Always wanted one. And fun fact, there's part of the movie that growing up, I didn't know existed. My parents let me watch the for TV version, like when you had to get up and actually change the channel on the TV, pre-cable, pre-editing with commercials. So a portion of the movie I grew up with wasn't in the version I knew. So I was an adult before there was the scene with the car and some of that stuff that happened. So that isn't even what I have grown up with. So that was kind of interesting to learn there was actually a deeper part to the movie that I didn't even know about.
Yes, that one song that we will not get into right now, but yes, different things that you can't say on television, national, especially back in the 80s and 90s.
Well, and you couldn't even implicate adulty activities happening in the backseat of the car.
Oh, I guess that's true. I don't know. I guess I was still watching on HBO, so I have no problems with that. But
yeah,
we do have a show to get to. I'm glad you were both on for this one because we were doing this to tribute Olivia Newton-John, who recently passed away. And I thought, well, what would be a good way? And that would be to send her off with a cast-off. But there are rules to this game, and they are fairly simple. They haven't changed over too many times over the years. The rules are simple. We're going to name a character from the movie, and you are going to give me an actor's name to replace that person. Best choice gets 1 point. I'm playing along with you, so I'm also playing. So if you happen to get my secret selection, that's an additional point. And let's be honest, most of the time my secret selection is the best choice. So that's a good way to get 2 points, especially if you're running far behind. As we saw Jake Dietz earlier this season come back, he only won because he got 2 secret selections for 4 points to win. Person with the most points wins because this is America. And if there's a tie, a double feature to win, and we'll talk about that when and if it's necessary. But as always, this show is brought to you by Matinee Heroes, and we're in October, which is our annual Matinee Villains Month, where we celebrate all things villainous, like this week's Bram Stoker's Dracula. So head over to matineeheroes.com/subscribe to subscribe to the audio podcast. And while you're there, if you like what you're seeing here on the Cast-Off, you can head over to matineeheroes.com/cast-off to subscribe to the video feed. But also make sure you subscribe to the audio feed because it is the only place you can hear on Thursdays the exclusive Cast-Off post-game show every Thursday in the audio feed. All right. Well, if you are up for this, if you are ready to sing, dance, and go wild, it's time for the Cast-Off, and we are doing Grease. This game is systematic. It's automatic. Hydromatic. Why, it's the Cast-Off, and we're going to start off with Justin. Justin, you have won the toss, and you are going to go first. And we are going to start off with the man himself. We're going to start off with Danny Zuko, or if you only watch TV, Vinnie Barbarino, because let's be honest, they're the same character. It's he did not change it at all. So Justin,
no, not at all.
Who do you have playing Danny Zuko?
Well, I went with a little bit of a theme. It's getting to be spooky season, so I picked all horror icons to so I'm gonna reveal that early. But the coolest guy in the horror world, the Vinnie Barbarino of the horror world, is Bruce Campbell from Evil Dead 1 and 2.
Absolutely. He is a cult movie hero because he cannot get into mainstream movies. He's been in a couple, but he's the Evil Dead movies, The Maniac Cop, Bubba Hotep, and then he actually got into a Coen's Brothers movie, The Hudsucker Proxy, and one of Steve Condrick's favorite, one of our other contestants that's on Congo, where you could see the mountains of Houston, which if you've ever been to Houston, no, that is a lie. Jen, who do you have to go up against the great Bruce Campbell?
So I did some searching because, of course, they have to be able to sing. So that was a focus I used with making my picks. I actually went with a not necessarily known, but a Robert Pattinson.
Yes, Robert Pattinson, the emo Batman from the Twilight movies, from Tenet, the Lighthouse, Waterfall Elements, and yes, he can sing. I saw that as well. I when I was doing my recasting, I made sure everyone I could get could sing, whether they needed to or not. And how did you find out that he could sing?
I did a lot of searching of triple threat in Hollywood, triple threats, checking for the singing, the dancing, the ability to do that. And then I actually went and listened to some of their singing.
Wow, you really dope. You did a lot more work than I did, so that's great.
Well, I take your show seriously. I love being a part of it. I love what you do with this. I love what Matinee Heroes does.
Well, I appreciate someone taking it serious.
So, yeah.
I can't get either one of the hosts to take it seriously, but at least our guests are. So let's talk about it. We've got Bruce Campbell, who is let's be honest, he's a legend. I mean, he's a cult legend, but he's a legend. Robert Pattinson, a young up-and-comer, but I think he did an amazing job as the Batman, so he's got something to keep watch on. Our judges hashed it out, and they went with Robert Pattinson, so Jenn Rohm gets the first point. I went with Joe Keery from Stranger Things because he can sing. He's got an album out, and I think he's got, especially if we're going to do it now, an updated version of it, I think he's that guy who could play the Danny Zuko, who's also sweet and nice as well, especially when we saw him babysit all those kids on Stranger Things. Well, now we get to the lady of the night, and I mean that as she is the reason we are honoring her tonight. The whole reason for this episode, the great Olivia Newton-John, who was angelically perfect as Sandy Olsen. Jen, who do you have to possibly replace the great and wonderful and beautiful and angelic, like I said, she is absolutely angelic in this movie, as Sandra Olsen?
She is amazing, and I wanted to make sure I picked someone that would respect the role, even with it being a remake, and I went with one Scarlett Johansson.
ScarJo. Yeah, ScarJo. She's been in everything. She's in the Marvel movies, Jojo Rabbit, The Prestige, Hail Caesar, Her. She's been fantastic. So, Justin, ScarJo is tough to go against. Who do you have going against ScarJo?
Well, if you're a horror fan like me, one of the young up-and-comers in the world of horror right now, she's about to play Wednesday Addams on Netflix, Jenny Ortega.
Yeah, it's Jenna Ortega, because I looked.
Oh my God, I said Jenny. My apologies.
I was looking for Jenny because I wanted to make sure I had the right one, and she's absolutely adorable. She can play both the sweet Sandra Dee from Jane the Virgin, but also she's the new Scream Queen from Studio 66 X. She's in the new Scream and a movie called Fallout. Very good pick on that. So let's see what we got here. We've got Scarlett Johansson, Jenna Ortega, and the new Jenna Ortega takes the point. Justin, you have tied it up.
All right.
I went with Amy Adams because Amy Adams is one of those sweet, adorable ladies who, can really make it look like she's a sweet, innocent girl like she was in Catch Me If You Can, but also she can play the sexy vixen if she needs to. Well, now we get to the leader of the Pink Ladies, bad girl Betty Rizzo, played by the amazing Stockard Channing. Justin, who do you have playing the bad girl, the one who's the naughty girl who everyone loves, but she's got her own issues?
Well, my bad girl choice was Fairuza Balk, famous fat bad girl in The Craft, right? So
yeah, she's got the biggest smile in the world, the wide smile goth girl, Fairuza Balk. We saw her in Return of Oz as a child, but then she went on to The Craft. She was amazing, and the American Express was amazing. She was in Almost Famous, and then of course everybody's got to make a check once in a while. She was in The Waterboy. Jen, who do you have going up against Fairuza Balk?
I went with Zendaya.
Oh yeah, you're not even hushing around. She's like, I'm going right to it. Boom.
I went with Zendaya. You know, she was in a musical not too long ago of The Greatest Showman, and she's got pipes.
Yeah, and of course we know her as MJ, as she plays tough girl characters in the Spider-Man movies. Malcolm and Marie. She's going to be much more featured in the second Dune. The first one, she was in it a little bit, but she's going to be in it quite a bit when they do. I guess they're starting it this fall. And of course, I have not watched it because I just feel like an old man watching a story about 20-year-old girls is creepy. Euphoria, which I heard nothing but good things, but my own ethics won't let me watch it because it just makes me feel creepy. So we have Fairuza Balk, Zendaya, two unusually named actresses. So at least I found a connection for Rizzo, and we went with Zendaya. So Jen, you take the lead back with 2-1. I went with Emma Stone because I thought she did a really good job in 101 Dalmatians to show me her dark side. Up until then, I wouldn't have believed it. But once I saw her in that, I thought she could do it. Yeah, easily. Now we get to my favorite, cute as a button, beauty school dropout, Frenchie, played by the great Didi Conn, who I remember her from, I think she was on Benson, something like that. I remember her from television. She's just adorable in this. So Jen, who do you have? Who do you have to play the lovely pink lady Frenchie?
And I even have the painting with the pink hair behind me, but
yeah,
anyway.
I can't see it, but that's okay. Oh, there you go.
There you go. Sorry, it's a thing. I wanted to make sure our comic was represented with this, so I went with Maya Rudolph.
Oh my God, Maya Rudolph is known for being awesome because she's just wonderful at everything. She's funny. She can play goofy. She can play sexy. She can play seductive. She can also play uncomfortable. We've seen her in Bridesmaid, Growing Up, Idiocracy, of course, Saturday Night Live, and she was great as, I guess she was God in The Good Place. She was a judge, but she was like the overall person who made choices. She's absolutely fabulous. So this is going to be a tough one, Justin. Who do you have to go up against the person who can do no wrong, Maya Rudolph?
Well, again, sticking with my horror theme, right? I have a young Sarah Michelle Gellar, who I think comes to mind for me because of her role in Black Xmas as one of the girls who lives in the dorm, and I think she's got a very, very Frenchy thing about her when she does that.
She's also adorable. She's known as obviously Buffy the Vampire Slayer, The Grudge, and she was in Scooby-Doo with her husband. So yeah, absolutely. And they're still married 20 years later. Good for them. That's like 100 years in Hollywood marriages. So both adorable and both perfect fits. We've got Maya Rudolph, Sarah Michelle Gellar. The judges went with Maya Rudolph. So Jen has taken a 2-point lead. I went with Anna Kendrick because she's also one of those cute as a button types like Didi Conn. Very small and very tiny, but also very cute. Now we get to Danny's best bud, Kaneki, played by the late, great Jeff Conaway. Justin, who do you have playing the brash, bold, a little bit too big for his britches, Kaneki?
Well, while people know this particular man as a slasher villain, in his younger days, he was quite a strapping young man. And I'm going to go with the young Robert Englund.
Now, I'll be honest with you. I tried to find, there are several pictures.
That's not a very strapping picture of him.
Well, I'll be honest with you. There weren't that many strapping pictures of him in color.
Fair enough.
In color.
Fair enough. That's fair. That's fair.
Almost all of his, if I had to show you the litany of pictures of him as 22, 24, it would be embarrassing for both him and the show. Because he always played like the sock hop guy who was behind the soda jerk. He kind of looked like a little bit of a goofball. But once he got into Freddy Krueger age without the makeup, that's the person you wanted, I think. But this was the youngest I could find him because we were. But then again, the great thing about Grease is you can be 30 years old and still be in high school.
Fair enough.
So he's known for playing villains with bad skin, as we saw him in Nightmare on Elm Street. He directed 976 Evil. He was the Phantom of the Opera once, the Mangler, and now, most lately, we've seen him without his eyes. Oh, it's just awful. His eyes scratched out in The Stranger Things. So, Jen, who do you have to go up against icon Freddy Krueger?
And, I didn't know I was going to have to, think about whether I had went to sleep tonight or not. I was kind of going for who could play against Robert Pattinson, still pull it off, be a cool guy, be someone that Rizzo would like. And I kind of went with someone that's been seen as a little bit more of a good boy, but I think he's got the tougher side that nobody's really seen. And I went with Henry Golding.
Oh, my wife said he was way too handsome to be
to be Kaneki.
Yeah, but he's known for World Traveler because he is part of a BBC show that he's been doing since 2014, where they travel the world and it's and explain what's going on. But he was in Crazy Rich Asians, Snake Eyes, A Simple Favor. He was in Last Christmas with the adorable Amelia Clarke, and he was in Matthew McConaughey's The Gentleman. So he's been doing some action as well. So we have Robert Englund, Henry Golden. And we're going with Henry on this one. And so Jennifer has taken the lead, a resounding lead, 4-1. So this is going to be tough for you, buddy, because there's still 4 points on the board. So you could pull this out. But I guess I skipped mine. Never mind. Don't worry about mine. You didn't get yours. So I didn't put mine in there. So next we got to go with comedy legend Sid Caesar playing Coach Calhoun. And I love Sid Caesar in this because he is someone who actually cares about his kids. And he's like getting Danny to run track, and he's one of those guys that really is a nice one. So, Jen, you have the guess. Who do you have to be the new coach of the Rydell High?
I went for someone I love seeing in movies because there isn't. I mean, I don't remember Coach singing. So
no, you don't have to have a singing. No, I don't think he sings.
I know. I don't think he sings, so I didn't have to look at it for this one. But I went with Vincent D'onofrio.
Oh, Vincent D'onofrio. Oh, sorry. I had you here, and then always one tech goes crazy one time. So we have Vincent D'onofrio, who is a very intimidating force of nature as an actor. Who can forget him being Pyle in Full Metal Jacket or Edgar in Men in Black? But he can also be a serial killer in The Cell, or he can be our very first Thor, Adventures of Babysitting, and then just a regular guy in Jurassic World.
And I could just see him doing long distance running. It worked for me.
Since we're recording this in advance, I'm hoping in the next week or so when I'm at FanX that he is my interview for the stage. He is going to be at FanX, so I'm hoping to moderate for him. But I don't know right now. We're always doing things in advance. So he is a fantastic actor, one of my favorites. So Justin, who do you have to go up against Vincent D'onofrio?
Well, I went with another horror icon, a big, strong, athletic man by the name of Tony Todd, who plays the Candyman.
Absolutely. And Tony Todd, that's the only picture I could find him where he wasn't like with bees over his face or gross or anything. Very good looking guy. So I just trying to find, and when he's a very nice person in real life, but he does like hearing his own name, especially over and over again. He was in Platoon, which I did not know was his very first one. Played a teacher in Lean on Me, played a crazy man in The Rock, and did a great job in the remake of Night of the Living Dead. So I could easily see him as the athletic coach for Rydell High. So we have Vincent D'onofrio, Tony Todd. Unfortunately, we went with Vincent D'onofrio. So, Jen, this game is over. You have won. You have mathematically eliminated Justin. Congratulations. You are today's winner. So you will get today's final thought. You can promote anything you like. Just say happy things to people, whatever you'd like to say. So what is the final thought from you, Jen?
I'm going to actually pay homage to my dad. Yesterday was his 76th birthday. I know we're taping in advance. But I wish him another year around the sun, and I'm so glad to have him as a daddy.
Oh, that's what a sweet lady. See, this is so nice. Yes, and my dad's going to be 79 soon, so we're just getting older and older. The older they get, the older I feel. So it's just.
Yeah, no, I'm still 20. Don't you know that?
Well, yeah, you're fine. I got gray hair and my white beard and everything. But thank you so much. We have the Cast Off Show on Twitter.com. You can follow us on the Cast Off Show. We have a Facebook group. We've got matineeheroes.com/castoff, where you can find the links to the YouTube feed and to the Twitch TV feed. We are looking for people to join us on YouTube. As always, we've been stuck at 80 for almost 6 months now. So yay, we've peaked. But thankfully, we're getting close to the end of the season, so we don't have to worry about this too many. No more. I'm not selling T-shirts. But if you'd like to be on next season, because we're not taking any more applications for this year, but if you want to be on next season's Cast Off, you can go to matineeheroes.com/castoff/application. Fill one out. We've had a lot of great people from there who have joined us on the show. Sam Levine, and one of them, who's been on the show several times and has done fantastic. So please head over there, or you can email mhcastoff@gmail.com. Special thanks to Elizabeth Rapp, but more importantly to Elizabeth Rapp's mom, who really was the one who picked. She was the judges. Elizabeth was just relaying her mom's picks. And to my lovely wife, who made the tiebreakers on some of these. Everybody got votes. So I know it seemed like it was an overwhelming one-sided victory, but actually everybody got votes. So it was really a lot of 2-to-1 situations. But on behalf of Justin Harlan and tonight's winner, Jenn Rohm, I am Craig Price. This has been The Cast Off.